pet dog or his pet cat or his pet, you know, slaves that he loves ever so dearly. I mean, everybody, you know, from the top to the bottom to the top, believes in some form of love. See? Even if you just love what you're doing, and it's ugly and mean and rotten through and through, well, baby, it's still there, and it's still what you've done and what you do. Unless old Grandpa Coyote can get through to you, eh? Help you open that big old heart in a big old way. I'll tell you what, baby, I think today's your day, this Trippin' Tuesday here at Spring Creek, the headwaters of life, and your moment of truth from a tiny sound booth 7,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky, down here in the Taos region of the USA, the enchanted lands of New Mexico. And you say, I tell you what, it's almost old Mexico here. Almost, not quite. We got the new twist to it, baby, and we're doing it right because, well, this is where angels grow wings and take flight. Angels such as yourself, man, right here on this Everclear Hazy Radio Network, with just a little encouragement from your old grandpa here and a whole bunch of friendly musicians that are tuned into the universal vibe, same as you are, see? And we're all coming to realize we're all just one simple little tribe, one tribe of love, made of love. That's what life is. The activity that it brings forward. That's love too, even when it don't seem like it, baby. Because look at this. One thing you do every time, even if you do on your shorts, you get through. And it gets to you, man. You know, and it reassures you that life is love and love is life, and it is what we're made of, you see. And you just got to look around you, man, and remember, you know, who you really are. Ah, good coffee this morning, salute, and a big old clink all the way around. All the coffee clubbers out there this morning, the Coyote coffee clubbers. Ooh, I got some plans for you. I'm going to get you hooked on Pinon coffee, same as I am, man. This is good stuff. You know, they take the little pinon nuts and they mix it, they roast it up and mix it in with the coffee, man. Ooh, if you do it right, it's really delicious, man, I'm telling you. So maybe I'll get together with those guys. I need to do a little fundraising anyway, a little fundraising. So maybe we'll sell some coffee on the old CoyoteClub.com. You better go over there and check it out. I haven't been over there to improve it for a little bit, but thecoyoteclub.com. Coyotes with a K and club is too. That's our home base for Spirit Wind Productions, and also a support portal for humanity through which flows your love and all the rest of the love in this reality from everybody else that tunes in there. And guess what? It's an assemblage of the heart that we hope to reflect in a physical sort of way. I think we're going to get some kind of little gathering joint going on here in Taos, one way or another. We got a little more population to draw from, and it's a little more popular with the tourist trade than old Crestonia is. So, babies, we're going to do it here because, well, I'm still working on myself, still getting it clear. I barely get up and walk around, you know. I mean, I'm debilitated, man. But getting better all the time. You know, I have my ups and my downs. A couple of weeks ago, fell on the ground just out of nowhere, just clunked down on my big old butt, my skinny little nothing there butt, I should say. I'm used to saying big old, but I've never had a big butt, not ever. It's always been just a couple of bones and a little skin there, you know what I mean? Well, whatever. It went down on my backside, come up on my front side, and I was all right. But the next day, then I started getting pain. So now I got to figure out what's wrong with my back. I hope I haven't hurt it too bad. But babies, you know, every little setback just moves you a little more ahead. You understand my meaning, babies? You know, you don't let anything like that take you down. You let it bring you around. You start to understand, well, gee whiz, now that's a message. Thank goodness I wasn't hurt any worse than I am. I can still walk, etc. So hopefully someday, you know, be able to drive some more, have some good times. I want to bring this old radio show out to you a little more than what we've done in the past. I keep talking about that. Well, You know, maybe it'll just have to be at a little gathering center here in Taosenia. It's Taosenian country. I'm talking about Taos, New Mexico, for those of you who can't understand my hippified lingo, okay? I like Taosenian because that's what we call a person that lives here. And Taosenian also implies the scenic wonder of Taos, man. You know, we got a little miniature Grand Canyon right here at our back door, basically, the big old Rio Grande Gorge, man, where it cuts its way through the plates of Mother Earth and works its way on down towards the Gulf of Mexico. It ain't going to the Pacific Ocean. It's going down to the Gulf of Mexico, into the Atlantic Ocean. Amazing, huh? Well, I think if there's any Atlantis down there south of Florida or someplace where the Bermuda Triangle is supposed to be, well, I think if it's there, that this water that comes down the Rio Grande is what, you know, refreshes its memory and so forth, and if it ever comes back, will be a grand part of that, just because it's magic water flowing down out of these Rockies, whether it's in the Rio Grande, the Arkansas, the Colorado, wherever it's going, man, whatever it's doing. These old mountains, man, they furnish water to a good share of the world around us now, don't they, you see? And what's water? That's love, pure love. That's Mother Nature's nourishment. That's where our animation and feeling comes from, is in the water-based reality, man. The thing we're made out of, you know. Now, you can't go drinking no gasoline. Expect you're going to live to tell about it. Of course not. There's certain liquids you should refrain from. Of course. Obviously. But you should respect that water inside of you, and then you'll find yourself respecting a little more of the water outside. You know, I've been bad. I've run around semi-dehydrated a good share of my life, because for one, I drank way too much coffee, and for another, well, I just didn't drink that much water. Got out of the habit, you know. I had to get back in the habit when all these crazy illnesses started to hit me, all this old age stuff. I mean, I'm only 7-0. I feel like a kid still, 17, 22, you know, still spinning around, don't know quite what to do. But, you know, because I've been through it, and a lot of it, well, I got something here for you. An open heart that knows the magic of love in every moment that it lives, babies. You believe in love? Well, I don't have to believe in it. I live it. And that's why I love it. I love love, you know. I love being in love. But I don't like, you know, the manipulation and control that seems to appear when you start to, quote, quote, fall in love. I think the idea is not to fall in love, but to share your love far and wide, and greatly, too. And I'm not talking about massive promiscuousness. I'm talking about people that just love life, that walk up to each other out of the blue and give each other a hug because they know it's time, and you need it, and they need it too, man, you know, etc. People that'll go out of their way to be good to you, see? And there's a lot of them left, and guess what? There's becoming a lot more, because you got your old grandpa here and a whole lot of others worldwide working to bring this thing about, where everybody can live that dream we were all born with, which is essentially peace on earth, you know, goodwill. But it, you know, it all comes together in one big happy family, one big happy tribe. When we realize our love, in others, then it's irresistible to help others, because that's what we're designed to do and be all the time, don't you see? In service to one another. Now, there are those that think they should be waited on hand and foot forever and ever. Well, guess what? Even those opinions and ideas can change. Because mostly they're programmed into these poor kids when they first begin this life in their early years. They get savagely traumatized. So, you know, they can grow up without a heart. At least that's the idea. I don't think that's very successful treatment these days, do you? Seems like the heartlessness is going out the window. It's being exposed all over the place, and those that are heartless are starting to back up and take another look at what they're doing. Like it or not, you've got to. Just the way of the world right now, the way of the Mother Earth. It's her medicine coming forward now. That's why we always pay honor and homage to the sweet Mary Jane here, because she is, in my humble heart, the representation of that Mother Earth energy, the all-knowing, all-wise being that cares enough to be a planetary reality and let us live in her little playpen, man, you know, live in her pouch. Because if you think of it, the atmosphere around us is a lot like a kangaroo pouch. And it sure is difficult when you try to get out of it, isn't it? I mean, no matter which way you turn, it seems like we're held here, you know. We've got all this high technology held in secret. People can fly around in space like nobody's business, but they can't always get there. Because there's barriers, there's restrictions, there's, you know, something that wants to keep us here until we start to remember the dream we're born with. That we're all made of love. I remember this from my tiny childhood. Having that dream inside where everybody got along with everybody because that was the thing to do. And each person was helping out other people just through and through. And hugs were as routine as a handshake, man, more so than before, let me tell you. It's an amazing dream, but it's just something like that, just this earth reality with people getting along. And to me, that's paradise. To me, that's what we're living for, to bring about, etc., because that's what we're born with. That's what we remember here, because somewhere along the way, we have actually created this dream and lived it. See, so you're seeing all kinds of horrific stuff happening in the world around you, all kinds of, I'd call it brainwashing going on, trying to get you ready for another big war down there in the Middle East. Some people believe way too much in etheric legends they know nothing about. They think that's where they're going to have their final showdown. The final showdown happened so long ago and so quietly, you wouldn't even know what happened yet. Look at the effect. The trend since the 90s, the early 90s, has been back towards life, even though the governmental entities seem to get a little more evil and dark with each change of administration over here in the U.S. of A. and pretty much around the world, though there are exceptions, thank goodness. Governmental people seem to be the last ones we can reach, but they're not the problem. The problem is the ones that control them. That's the ones we got to get to, babies, you know. And that's the ones we are getting to. And they're tuned in here every day right along with you, believe it or not, spying on this old man, seeing what he's up to. What's that coyote doing? Is he sitting behind a bush again? Probably am, old man. Don't look at him. Yeah, excuse that little rattle in me. I'm still a little rattly in my lungs today, too. See what? I shouldn't even be here, man, but guess what? I am. Because I love it. I love you. I love all of you that tune in, and turn in to your heart, man. You know, worldwide, man. I mean, how can you beat it? And all this grand music to help us along the way with its double and triple and quadruple flight meanings, you know. The many different levels of the understanding of rock and roll. Babies, we could go on forever. Maybe that's what my gathering center will be. Grandpaw Koyote School of Rock and Roll, man. That ought to fry him a little bit, huh? I'll make myself a professorial type dude, and, you know, you guys can come and, you know, we get the government to pay fees so they can hear me talk in the classroom and stuff, you know. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, it's a step. I mean, you know, maybe it's not the greatest one we ever thought of, but, you know, maybe there's a better way. Maybe every day we'll just call it Grandpa's School of Colorful Broadcasting or something like that. And every day it'll just be a little gathering room with some sofas and chairs and stuff in there. And that's what we'll do. We'll just gather and hang out. Sip a little kava, sip a little java, perhaps even participate in some of that cacao leaf tea. Oh, my goodness. I need to get some of that. That's why I got to do some fundraising. This stuff isn't cheap. And, well, I'll tell you, it'll heal whatever ails you. That's some magic stuff. It empowers you to be a human being again. So, babies, it's available on the internet. Cacao leaf tea, C-O-C-O-A, I think it is. And as far as I understand, it is legal. If we could be cool with all of that, then we would offer a tea like that, an invigorating tea. It wouldn't be no cheap thing, let me tell you, but it'd be nice, you know. And it'd be just basically a donation to the cause anyway, because that's basically what we're doing, you know, just becoming a self-supporting entity that can provide a comfortable place for people to gather and make sweet music of the heart, whether we're jamming down or rapping or just hanging out and having a good time. And, you know, talking to one another and seeing what each other needs and see where we can help out and so forth. I mean, or just generally socializing, you know, reassembling the vibe of the tribe, which of course is love, the thing that everything else is made of, including ourselves. See how we separate ourselves quick? Everything else. Then you include yourself. It's all here. It's all what we are. Every bit of it. What you see outside is what you got inside. That's why we got illnesses inside, because we got them on the outside, you see. You address them on the inside, you can heal the outside too, quite magically. Imagine a world where everybody really does care. Where they just simply, you know, give a shit because they like each other. They're tickled pink to see anybody come walking down the street to them. And guess what? We're walking a lot more, and we're flying naturally. Automobile is a thing of the past, so there's still a few of them around because people enjoy that stuff. We don't want to let it go, you know, so we'll still have a little bit of the rock and a little bit of the roll. See, we can have it any way we want it. We are the children of the universe, and believe it or not, we're spoiled rotten, man. We've been given a silver spoon in the mouth and then some, you know. We've been mollycoddled. It could have been 10 times, a billion times worse than this. And thank goodness it's not, because we just dosed out just about the right amount for ourselves, didn't we? Yeah. It's been a wild ride, and it's probably going to continue to be, but in a very good sort of way. I think the painful stuff, the riding the bull and getting the crap kicked out of you when you get bucked off, etc., I think those days are over and done, or pretty close to it, because it seems to me like the bull's taming down. Don't buck near as hard as it used to. I mean, so to speak, you know, life itself is taming down, because the people themselves are coming around, not just a handful here and a handful there. Now it's getting in the thousands and the millions, baby. It's happening, you know. It don't take too many catching on to bring around the whole tribe. You watch and see, baby. Just keep doing what you're doing for yourself, you know, helping yourself understand your own heart, your message in your heart, that little specialty you got going on just for everybody else, you know, and practice it, be it, do what you feel inclined to be doing, you know, and, you know, share the wealth, spread the generosity around. It doesn't have to be moolah all the time. It can be anything, man, you know, just being there for people, sometimes more important than a bank account ever could be. You understand my meaning? Ultimately, we're going to get out of this money thing and stop measuring this thing against that and that thing against this and all this silly bartering and trading. As much fun as it's been, you got to understand, these are kid games. Stuff that little children would do, you know? Make up a world with money and values where things are separate from one another, and the only way to reconnect is to purchase them, you know? Yeah, it's a silly world, isn't it? It's a silly concept. Childish. But innocent in its forward expression, though it got extremely corrupted as we went along that path, didn't it? Doesn't mean that in a heartbeat it can all change. We don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We work with what we got and go from there. And ultimately, money will not be an element. But shoot, as long as it's around, we might as well have some fun with it, wouldn't you say? That's how Grandpa's feeling today. Crestonia, but down a couple of thousand feet here in the south end of the San Luis Valley, man. This is where we begin. Yes, indeed. The beginning of, you know, life right here, right now, man. You don't have to wait to get born again. You don't have to wait to die again. Just be what you are and fly again, babies, because that's what you're here for. To lighten up so much that you're just right there, babies, and without a care, too. Oh, I messed up my little song list there. Got to get that up there. There we go. Now we got that one right. Let's do this other one while we're at it, and we'll just be ready to go steady with you guys, no matter what it might be or who it might be with, okay? Well, we got to have a little fun, man, when we're on this run we call life. It's just a little bit too much otherwise. That's what I mean by keeping it light, is lighten your load, man, you know. Burrow into those things that seem to, you know, misalign your dreams and go for it, man. You know, see what's there and get out from under the burden of whatever it is that's slowing you down and not bringing you around yet. It is bringing you around, because the more you suffer, the tougher you get, the more you can take. It's true. And babies, it's also a grand motivation to get on out of the pain, right? Nothing like pain to make you not want pain no more, right? I'm real familiar with that one. It's been a painful year, but just mainly in my body, not anywhere else. My old body's had so much pain that a little more ain't gonna kill it off just yet, man. I'm a living miracle, and so are you. The fact that you're here and breathing tells you that you've got every opportunity to employ that dream you were born with, baby. All you got to do now is remember what the heck it was. Grandpa reminds you day after day, always, you know, slipping it in on you. Here, you know, it seems like we talk about it all the time, but yet we get a different aspect, a different angle of it each and every day here, Tuesday through Friday. Let's see, what am I going to say? Tuesday through Friday at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So 2 sweet, short, beautiful hours, man, that seem to stretch out forever because there's so much in it, man. You see, it is the power of love coming to you on this radio show that's got rays of love coming from 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountains. Got rays that go right to your heart. If it needs it, gives it a little jump start. You got some cables, man? We don't need cables. We got the cables right here on the internet, and the larger internet around that inner internet, and then another one below that, another one above that. I mean, we got more internets than we know what to do with. This one here that's made of technology is just reminding us all how good it is to be free, to be connected with one another.